Good morning, everyone. It's Tess, and today is tip 252, and I'm calling it Challenging the Food Police. And most know that AC from our challenge group in John Clark's WLS Alternative Facebook group is doing a book club, and I forgot to turn my phone around. It's a book, Intuitive Eating. And there was a section in the middle, so yeah, I kind of jumped ahead. Sorry. I jumped ahead, and I was looking at the idea of food police because we all know, like I had, oh, good morning, you Pendra, good to see you. I had group with Doc V yesterday, and we were talking about, like everyone's different journeys and weight loss and why some of us probably grab, how some of us overcome going back to the old foods and how some of us are able to move into new, good morning, move into new ways of eating. And that idea of like food police and guilt, a lot of that comes to mind because I think I've lived most of my life under that umbrella, thinking good food versus bad food. And I was good. I followed my program, or waking up every day, hoping I could have a better day. And I was trying to think about what's been different this past year. And a lot of what I've been doing this past year and a half since I joined the Doc V Challenge is really trying to get in touch with what makes my body feel better. What do I eat and when do I eat it that keeps me higher energy or feeling better, more healthy? So I'm trying to look at food the way that we're all encouraged, which is food is just a fuel for the body. But I'm trying to remember and keep engaged in how do I make myself stay in that place of knowing that nutrition, food, is just fuel for the body. So I don't get caught up in that guilt circle and that food police circle and that feeling good, feeling bad. I failed. I had a cookie. I'm up. I'm down. I'm trying to just keep moving forward. And I thought it was interesting when I was looking at this book. Again, we're doing a book club with AC and WLS Alternative group. But what it kind of talked about, and I thought it was really good because it kind of identified the voices that help or harm us in our journey. And what I thought was really interesting, we all know the term food police, and we all know food police is not something we want to deal with. If we've made a decision we're going to eat something, unless you specifically ask somebody to help you out, you probably don't want their input. And this particular article did kind of a summary on these voices in our head that either help us or hurt us on our journey. And they were talking about the food police. And the reason food police are so harmful is because they cause guilt and they cause food worry. It's full of judgment, and it keeps you in a diet culture. So instead of fueling to feel good, you become worried about following this plan, and you almost lose touch with the idea that it's trying to keep your body healthy or to keep you nutritionally sound. So it's not one of the best ones. Well, hi, Miss Lori. I haven't seen you in a while. So like they say, the food police is probably not a voice that you want to listen to or not allow in your mind a lot, because again, it's judgmental, it's full of guilt, it's full of food worry, it's full of judgment. And it doesn't allow you to get in touch exactly with how you're feeling or how your body feels fueled based on what you eat. Because what makes me feel good might not make you feel good. Because I've been trying to judge like what I eat in the morning. I tend to not eat until about noon because I find that my mind is sharper without food weighing me down. Now, I don't know at this point if part of that is because I've had bariatric surgery and any kind of food, I have to eat very little, or it's like my body has to chug to get it digested, and then I feel sluggish. But I agree with Doc V, as a person who struggled with my weight, the narrower the window of hours I eat a day, the better off I am. But it made me wonder, there are food police who will say I'm wrong because I don't eat breakfast. Now, there are times if I think I need it, I will, but I'm trying to judge based on my body. How does my body feel? And I do know food police does create guilt. It does create a cycle of dieting programs. And I know that when I was always worried about what the person next to me was thinking about what I ate, I wasn't worried about whether what the food I was putting in my body was actually helping me to be more energetic or to feel good. So I guess I agree, if we can eliminate the food police, we're in a better place. The next one they said is kind of the sneaky backdoor food police, and it's called the nutrition informant. And this says, this person uses nutrition as a vehicle to keep you dieting. And they said, once uncoupled from the food police, it becomes clear that the nutrition informant and the nutrition ally can help you make food choices without guilt and feeling deprived, but you got to get it removed from the food police part of it. Having information about nutrition, having an ally that helps you to educate yourself so that you can identify what makes your body feels good is good. But if they're the informant and they're the right hand of the food police, they're not going to be helpful to you. It really has to be about pulling back and just learning your body and what feels good and how you feel good. Like some people have to eat something when they get up. I thought I was one of those people, but I found over time I'm not. I like to do my studying or reading in the morning before I start putting a lot of things in. And I don't eat a lot of food anymore, but it seems like that anything I eat will cause my body to slow down. So that to me is a prime time. And I've learned like I can't eat, well, most bariatric patients, I don't eat bread type things because those get like chunky thick and that it gets gummy like, I guess, inside the body, and it just doesn't feel good. So I think learning what makes us feel good is critical and helps the journey a lot more. And then it also helps us to quiet the food police, whether it's our own internal mind or somebody on the outside. And may also help us to, when people are not actually judging what we're eating, for us to release that they aren't judging. Because 90% of the time, they probably aren't. But we have become groomed to think that everybody is looking at everything we do. It talks about the diet rubble, and we all know that could be a problem because if you're the diet rubble, you're going to go, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to eat the rest of the bag of cookies if you're going to point it out to me. And I think we've all had moments in our life where we wanted to do that because we were felt on display, and we may have been, or it may have been our internal voice, but if we can remove ourselves from these judgmental characters in this game of getting healthy, it will help us to move forward. Because if you can somehow find a way to release those voices so that you can just simply go with how you're feeling. Is this food feel good for me? If I don't eat it tomorrow, do I feel better? That's helped me a lot in the past year and a half. I eat completely different than I did before surgery. I do find processed foods don't feel good. I even the smell, sometimes I can smell the chemicals now, or if I've taken a bite of something, I can feel a film on my teeth. So I don't like that stuff, and that's what's helping me to not connect with that stuff again, is that I'm recognizing what I never recognized before, is that highly processed foods make me feel like I have a film on my teeth, and it also has a chemical taste to me. But it's taken me a year and a half to get to the place where I see it that way. So that's just something to keep in mind. I find that to be helpful because if I can taste it and I can feel it, even if I've created it in my head, if it keeps me away from the processed stuff, that's a win for me. So they're talking about, and I like this name, this is going to be my new way of approaching food. They call it the food anthropologist. And this is a neutral observer that can give you a distant perspective into your eating world. It's non-judgmental. It keeps you in touch with your inner signals biologically and psychologically. And that's what I want to do as I move forward on this journey. I often say that I want to respect the gift of the surgeon's time and the nutritionist's time and Doc V's time and the tribe's time for being a part of my journey. And as respecting that, I have to continue to educate, learn, and try to identify where I can continue to get better in this journey. So I love that idea of the food anthropologist because it's simply about learning. Maybe something I eat doesn't feel good for your body, but the best gift you can give your body is to identify it, because if it gives you more energy and gives you more chance for adventures and to experience the best in life, then that's the gift. We've got to get rid of these guilt-based things. We've got to get rid of these food police, guilt-based, I failed, I succeeded. We've got to get back to that, I guess, bare bones. Well, hi, Miss Eileen. Good to see you. Get back to the bare bones of identifying what makes my body feel healthier. And I will say it again. I had some unusual things going on this past weekend, and the unusual things put me in touch with some foods that I don't normally eat. And I truly, and I've never experienced this before, but I could feel like film on my teeth from processed food, or I could taste like a chemical or metallic flavoring in foods that were processed. So for me, I know that I spent way too many years in that arena, and I don't want to go back to that. I like the taste of real foods now. I didn't like the taste of real foods when I was conditioned to the chemical taste of processed foods, or I never noticed that there felt like a film on my teeth. And even if it's in my head, I'm going to own that, because that will keep me away from the stuff that got me in trouble in the beginning. I like being able to identify that if I don't eat in the morning, if I just have a green smoothie, if I'm craving something, I'm sharper. Like I've already read a section in the real estate textbook that I'm reading, because I have some goals that I'm moving forward on, and I'm realizing I want to get there sooner than later. So I have to find the tools to keep my mind sharp so that I can move forward, because there's a lot of life to live. A lot of it I missed when I was in a BMI of 60, and it's time to regain it all. I don't want to go backwards. I want to keep moving forward. And that's going to mean, for me, the food police are gone. That's going to mean that the nutrition informant who's telling me exactly who is kind of the food police in disguise, that one's out. The diet rubble, that's got to be out too, because all that did was make me try to prove to the food police and the nutrition informant that I wasn't going to listen to him. And I want to become the anthropologist. I want to be the person that digs in, identifies what makes my body feel better, identify what times of the day are better for me to eat, and identify, is my skin feeling better? Is my hair healthier? Good morning, Patty. What tools, what foods help me to feel better? What time of day helps me to feel better? What's the best time of day for my smoothie? And that might change tomorrow versus today. I want to understand my body, and I want to provide it with the tools to go forward. And I know that I have been victim to myself, and even what I thought other people were thinking of me that they may never have been thinking, but I assumed, with food police and are people judging everything I put in my mouth? I shouldn't be eating this. I'm going to say I don't eat the stuff, but it doesn't help to have a guilt around it. I've come to a point where I don't crave the foods that aren't helping my body. And by that, I mean the processed foods and the foods that now taste like chemical to me. And it really, like even a film on my teeth. But it took me a long time to get to that point. So if you can kind of identify when you're letting a snarky food police comment direct you, or if you're letting a nutritional informant let you think that you have failed, push those voices aside and just become the anthropologist that's trying to understand what's going on inside my body. How do I feel? Am I better if I wait till later? Should I have my green smoothie now? Or should I have it later? I truly can tell that I feel better and my mind is sharper based on the type of foods I eat, based on how much water I'm getting in. And this book, like I said, AC is doing a book club in the WLS Alternative group. It's John Clark's group. And I found these talks about the voices in our head, whether it's real people or the voices in our head, and probably at least 75% of the time it's the voice in our head. But they were talking about food police, and you got to leave them behind. And if they are in your life, you have to ignore them. The nutrition informant, who is kind of like a masked version of the food police, and the diet rubble. Those tools, those people, those voices in your head aren't going to help you. You want to be the anthropologist, the food anthropologist, and the nurturer, the person who's just helping you to identify what time of day is best for you to eat. Are you getting enough of your liquids in? And are the foods you're eating helping you to feel better? And maybe start to try to identify. It has taken a long time because I haven't been eating much processed food at all in the past year and a half. And when I just happened to get in touch with it, I don't know if it just happened to be this particular stuff, but when I had it, it's like I could feel a film on my teeth, and I could taste like a chemical. I could taste that it had been processed. There was a different flavor to it. And it made me remember that I was conditioned to that for a long period of time. And now that I've been in the land of green smoothies and big salads and more real food, I'm identifying that I was attached to those type of foods and never recognized that the flavor of real food that I didn't like was because I was attached to the flavor of the chemicals. So it might be something you want to try, because I was really shocked when I could feel the film and the metal, the chemical taste. Almost for me, like as a bariatric patient, when I first started drinking water after bariatric surgery, it did have like a metallic taste to me. That is no longer true, but it took me some time to get over it. So again, this is the book, Intuitive Eating. AC is doing a book club in the WLS Alternative group, which is John Clark's group. But I'm just trying to learn every day. Doc V challenged me not to stop going live, so I'm trying to make sure that I don't stop going live, because I do recognize for me, it keeps me accountable and it keeps me engaged in the group. And I guess it keeps me with material for when I go live in his free group. So I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and we will talk soon. But take a minute just to think about no guilt involved in it at all. When you eat something today, is it making you feel better or is it making you feel worse? Can you adjust the food or can you adjust the time? Yeah, we are chemically and physically attached to processed foods. And I was shocked, Patty. I was really shocked when all of a sudden I'm like, I taste it, because with Doc V, I've moved myself away from it long enough that I tasted it. And I'm like, I don't like how it tastes. I don't like how it makes my teeth feel. And whether that's in my head or not, I'm going to own that and hold on to it for dear life, because I don't want to go back to the other way. I do know that this is a better way for me. It's the only way I've continued to lose weight 5 years into this journey, so I need to continue. But I also need to be open for when the time is to reduce calories or continue to change, because I do know that what I'm doing today will have to change if I want to continue to keep my weight going down, which is part of the reason I just keep learning. I have to stay engaged in the journey so that I can stay in the journey. So that's my wish for all of you guys. Stay in the journey, and let's all go out with those adventures, experiences, and live the best life that we were all reaching for when we went in pursuit of losing weight. Thank you, and you guys have a great day.